Alright, let's cover the bridge section of Bark at the Moon. The bridge section goes like this. Okay, the chords are F sharp minor, D, and then there's the what's the last chord here? Oh, it's a E chord with the F sharp on top. So Jakey Lee plays F sharp minor. First chord goes like this. That's the second fret of E, and then fourth fret of A and D, and then you're barring down the second fret of G, B, and E together. I myself sometimes play like here, like this. What I'm playing is I play the fourth fret of A and D, and then sixth fret on the G, and seventh fret on the E string. It sounds good to me and it's fuller, but that's not how Jakey Lee plays it. That's how I play it. He plays the F sharp minor right here. The reason he does it over here because he keeps his fingers on the F sharp note on the low. He kept going back to that same note, pivoting to it. It's okay. So it was the first chord. The second chord is D with the F sharp on top. What I'm playing is I play the F sharp, second fret on the low E string, and then I use my index finger to mute and block the A string so you can't hear it, and then play the open D string, second fret of G, and third fret of B string. Now Jakey Lee, he plays the D chord with the F thumb on the second fret on the E string. That works too, if you want to do it that way. Personally, I like it. I like to use my index finger on the second fret on the low E string. That way I can block the A string completely so you can't hear it. The third chord is a E sus, I guess like an E sus chord because it has the F sharp. F sharp is the second note of E, so it get a dissonant sound to it. So what he plays, the E chord is a little different than what you used to seeing. Not the open E chord. What I'm playing is I use my index finger barring the second fret of E string, low E, A, D, and then my ring fingers on the fourth fret on the G, and my pinky is on the fifth fret on the B string. So next part. Alright, so when he plays that one chord, when he plays the E chord, he goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And they start playing this, you basically play twice on the same note. It's like a down up. He started on the second fret on the F sharp, like I say, because it pivot back to that note. So that two notes is before the measure begins again. So this is like a 1 and 2 and 4, and the last eighth note of the measure is when they play the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and like that. And it goes and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all right. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay. So the whole pattern goes like this. Alright? Again, because the first two notes is before the measure begins. Okay. Now that's the first pattern. The second time, well, what I'm doing is every time I play down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So. The notes are, I keep going back to the second fret on the E string. But you start from the fourth fret on the A string, second fret A string, fifth fret on the A string, and back to fourth fret on the A string. that's the first pattern. Now there's a variations of this. The second time he plays that again, he plays a little differently. He plays like this. So this time he plays 4 on the A, 5th on the A, 2nd on the A, and 4th on the A. So the first time he goes 4, 2, 5, 4. Second time is 4, 5, 2, 4. So 4, 5, 2, 4. That's the second time. All right. Now the third time, he after the solo, he plays that again, and when he plays that, the third time is different. It goes like this. So it's 5, 4, A, 2nd fret on the D, and back to 5th. Back to 4th fret on the A. So that goes into I guess well, the first part was chorus. This is the bridge. All right, so start from the A chord. Mute twice on the A string, and you play the 5th fret on the D and G together, and then you play D5 and G7 together. And you play this major third interval of G, so basically playing D5 and G4. So, and then you play the double note. So play the same chord we just played, the major third G, but you break it up. So play the 5th fret on the D string, down up, 4th fret on the G, down up, 5th fret on the D string and down up. And you play this octave at the 3rd position on the A string, and slide up to 5th fret and back down to 3rd fret. And then 2nd fret on the A string, and 3rd fret on the E string. And we play the major third interval of G again. And slide down to major third of F. That basically is D3 and G2. And you play his E power chord at the D and G string position. So it's D2 and G4 together. Sometimes he'll play. He'll add a 2nd fret on the A string to it, to the E chord. And they play open B and open E string together. Next one, you do the same thing again, but this time you go, instead of, you go, so down, up, and do the same thing again. And then the pattern this time is, so instead of doing the octave thing, you do D5, G4, D5. And then 7-5-4 on the G string. Back to 5th fret on the D. But you gotta double pick it. just like we did before. We repeat the octave lick again. And then you play the 3rd fret on the E string, pull down just a little bit, and then go back. Now he'll repeat that. He'll do the same lick, but at the very last time, right before the outro, he'll play like this. He'll play a little differently. So he plays D5, G4, D5, and then he plays a B string on 5th fret and 3rd fret on the B, back to G4, and D5. And you play it, and it goes back to that lick over there. Now the outro has been covered in my one of my first video I did was Bark at the Moon song, and I covered the outro in one of those videos I did in the very first time when I started doing the YouTube videos. Alright, let's cover the slow part of the Bark at the Moon song. It goes like this. So that one part right there, let's break it down in sections. So the first part I play, so I'm playing the F chord, F power chord. So it's 1st fret on the E, 3rd fret on the A string, back to F, 1st fret on the E string, and then 2nd fret on the A string, harmonic, and the 3rd fret on the A string. Repeat that again, and then do the G chord. The G chord, I'm playing the 3rd fret on the E string with my index finger, muting the A string so you can't hear it, and then you can hear the open D, open G, 3rd fret of B, and 3rd fret on the high E string. And the next part, so I play the 5th fret on the high E string, pull off on 3rd fret, and B3 and E3. And the 2nd fret on the B string, pull off on open string, open G, open E, back to, so. Repeat it, same thing, and then G, next part. So we play the 4th fret on the G string, hammer on the 5th fret, and 3rd fret on the B, 3rd fret on the E, and play the G5 again, pull on 4th fret, and use my ring finger, play the 5th fret on the D, and use my pinky, play the 5th fret on the G string, pull off on 4th fret, and then play the 5th fret on the D. Whole thing slowly. So far we have this. Repeating. So what I'm doing is I'll play it slightly different. I played it, use my pinky, play the 7th fret on the high E string, pull off on 5th fret, and then play the third fret on the B string with my index finger, 5th fret on the E string, middle finger, and then E3 and B3, and then first fret on the B string, pull off on open B, open G string, and open low E string. Back to the F chord. So the whole thing slowly. So I'm playing the E power chord, and then D power chord, and I use my finger, index finger, just play the 5th fret of D and G, and then play the 3rd fret of D and G. So after I play the 3rd fret on the D and G, I play this. I play the 5th fret of B string and G string, and then 5th fret on the D string, and then 3rd fret of B, G, and D. And then play the 5th fret again on the D and G. This time I'm playing 5th fret of B, G, and D, and then play the 7th fret on the D. I'm sorry, on the G string. The 5th fret on G and D string. All right, so far, let's play that part again. It goes like this. Sorry. And that's when I go to solo. Alright, so the whole thing slowly. Let's play the bridge. Let's play the interlude again, right before the solo. Goes into the solo.